Hey everybody, it's Dante with Paradigms. And yesterday, there was so much seismic activity, and that's what I want to talk about today. And it's not just yesterday. There's articles out at Live Science from a few years ago, talking and discussing how the next big earthquake could be coming around the Oregon area at the Cascadia Fault line. And they've been warning, scientists and geologists have been warning about this and tsunamis for not a whole, because you gotta look at it like recorded history. When was this stuff being recorded? How bad was it before we started recording it? Because they're saying, oh, it's the worst it's ever been. Yeah, according to recorded history, which is still pretty bad. But anything dealing with, if you're near an area that's a Gulf area, or if you're in an area that is like a coastal area, from the coast to the ocean, you have to be particularly careful nowadays moving forward, especially if you heed the warnings and the advice of these scientists and geologists. So they're saying that the big earthquakes usually happen every 3 to 4,000 years, and that the big ones haven't happened in like 4,500 years. And then you have the San Andreas fault line, which they said produced a really big tremor back in 1690. And then they talk about the fault lines new fault lines have been recently discovered near New York City and the Indian Point nuclear power plant. They always build the nuclear power plants, always. It's so stupid, but they do it on purpose. They build them on the fault lines. So when those earthquakes or natural disasters do happen on coastal areas, now look, more destruction. So their fear was, and I'm having the same fear. Here's another headline from Live Science. The next Cascadian megaquake maybe sooner than you think. So we're gonna read that, and that was from May this year. So this is a more recent article. It's not a few years ago. It's more like several months ago. So they're following this stuff. The whole Seismological Society of America, the SSA in Miami, they have an annual meeting every year, and this year they met on May 16th. The higher frequency of mega earthquakes could spell trouble for infrastructure in the region, which may not be adequately prepared to withstand the power. Adding these earthquakes into our recurrence calculations could change our estimates of likely ground shaking by about 40%. But they're just basing it off of past history, They're talking more about these fault lines. So there's a Pacific Northwest seismic network. At a magnitude of 8.5 or more, these are the most powerful tremors on Earth. That's why they're called megathrusts or megaquakes. So this particular Cascadia fault line, which everybody should be familiar with, they were telling y'all, there was like anybody that lives west of I-5, I believe that's what it is, that the last interstate that runs along the west coast should move like at least 100 something miles inland, just because. But really, there's no safe spots. There just really is no safe spots, because say you want to move into the United States, and now you got Yellowstone. Because just don't think that, oh, like I get away from the earthquake, or you might be moving near a volcano, or say you get away from the volcano and the earthquake, you might be moving towards a tornado zone or hurricane area. So you can't really get away from the natural disasters. All you can do is prepare for the worst and hope for the best, and do what you have to do, and be prepared for what type of natural disasters are more likely to occur in the area you're in. So it's called the Cascadia Subduction Zone. The acronym is the CSZ, and it stands for 700 miles, or a little over 1,000 kilometers. So that's crazy. And I haven't even gotten to the article from today or the other articles. Let's get into that. So the hum, this was from yesterday, November 29th, 2018. There was a hum, but I don't think it was November 29th. I believe it was November 11th. And this frequency went around the whole world, and nobody heard it. Nobody felt anything, but it registered on the equipment, the geologist's equipment and whatnot. So it says, November 11, a tiny island in the waters between Madagascar and Mozambique. Biku. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. From there, it circled the entire world. So that's just crazy how nobody like picked up on that. Nobody felt anything, and this is why I believe we're dealing with something spiritual, man. It's not just physical. This stuff is like super scientific frequencies, things that are beyond our comprehension at our current point of understanding, and we just have to be aware and be open to learn. So it says no one in the area felt any shaking, and the P waves and the S waves associated with the hum, the sort of waves that you actually feel during an earthquake. So it's the type of frequency you feel during an earthquake, but it just went like unnoticed. Then they say on November 12th, the report came from the French government found that Mayotte had slid, that island, Mayotte, it slid 2.4 inches to the east and 1.2 inches to the south. So it slid southeast. And nothing was felt though. I know I keep stressing that. Then they said magma was also squeezed. Don't know exactly where this magma was squeezed, but magma's gonna be squeezed during earthquakes. And everything's connected. All of these plates pretty much touch one another all around the world. So like when they move, they're gonna move one another. It's just that the earthquake is gonna be felt in other countries if that's where it really, rubbed against each other, the tectonic plates. I think there's one more article, earthquake. Well, this is from the New Yorker. It was like the really big one. And this was from like 3 years ago though, but it doesn't matter because they're just getting worse. And there's like this year they was like, wow, like the big one, we're expecting it to happen sooner. Like every year that goes by. So the headline for this article: an earthquake will destroy a sizable portion of the coastal Northwest. The question is when. And we've already seen the 7.2 in Alaska, and like it's just gonna come on down. And in this picture from 3 years ago in the New Yorker, and I'm gonna put the links in the description. It's showing like it just ripping that whole part off of the whole west coast. Like it's kind of torn like a page. So it says the next full margin rupture of the Cascadia subduction zone will spell the worst natural disaster in history, because it's gonna affect the San Andreas fault line. So just be careful out there. Make sure y'all prepare. Make sure y'all are ready. I mean, a lot of these things happen at the last minute, these natural disasters, and there's not a lot of time. Not like hurricanes, for an example, where you have at least a week to evacuate because you can see the trajectory. But you can't see a trajectory for earthquake. You can't see a trajectory for a volcano. There's no trajectory for tornadoes. But it's good to know. It's not good that they're getting worse. It's good to know and be aware. Just north of the San Andreas, however, lies another fault line known as the Cascadia. Because that was the big one they were talking about, like in the early 2000s. The San Andreas fault line. But I'm not saying it's not a big deal, but I'm led to believe that Cascadia one is going to be ruptured first, and it's just going to trickle down, and it's going to become it's going to affect the San Andreas fault line. And that's a lot of money. The repairs, what they mentioned, FEMA, and natural disasters they're not pretty. Nothing to play with, especially the bad ones. So that's all I got to say. Just wanted to report on that. I'm sorry I didn't put out a video yesterday, but I'm gonna do another one, so we have 2 up today for the 1st of December, and it's just gonna be about probably like a financial one or something. But this is about the earthquakes and the natural disasters. Of course, it's gonna get worse. It's biblical, even though I don't know if it is biblical. It is biblical because we can't explain these things, these natural phenomena. But thank you guys for watching. If you want to support us, we're going to be doing these breakdowns on these books on the Patreon. And also go to our website. We have products, the best products on the market, the top rated health supplements, essential oils, the water purification water purification systems, gravity fed, is gonna be up there soon. The indoor air purification systems clean up to 400 square feet, and like I said, storable food. Everything's coming. All of those new products are coming, like very, very soon, like very soon. And we have plenty of discounts on there. The reason I sound tired is because I am tired. Like, I've really just been working. That's why I haven't even, because I'm doing everything. That's why I haven't got a chance to do this little podcast. And I don't even want to edit it because it takes so much time. I'm going to just put it out just like this. And again, I want to thank y'all for watching. Links will be in the description. ParadigmStore.com is how you can support us. And at the same time, you're supporting your health and wellness. Getting the best stuff at some of the best prices. So thank you so much for supporting us. Till next time.